And welcome back to Morning Magazine. This is Michael Klisch, our next guest, to talk about Capn's Last Call, the tribute to Randy Schopen and the Randy Schopen Give Someone a Chance Foundation. Coming up March 24th, about 3 weeks.
3 weeks from
3
Saturday.
3 weeks away. We're getting close. I'll let them introduce themselves. Dale, start with you.
Good morning, Michael. I'm Dale Opperman. I'm a friend of Randy's and
everybody's a friend of Randy's.
Organizing committee.
Yeah. And
I'm Vince Krause, also a good friend of Mr. Schopen's, and also working on some of the committees to support the event. And
this has been in the works for a long time. Boy, when did I go to that? I've only made one of these meetings. I think it was the first one that Saturday.
We've been meeting for probably about 2 months now in anticipation of the event, and wanted to find something. We had a lot of people that stepped up and wanted to show their appreciation for Randy and do something in memory of him. And so we thought it would be appropriate after things kind of settled down to schedule that. So we settled on March 24th at the Jefferson County Fair Park.
That's great, and it's all day.
Actually starts about 3:30 in the afternoon.
Well,
goes till 11
that's about
PM,
the time Randy used to get up.
But we'll be doing some silent auctions, and there'll be live entertainment, I believe, beginning around that 3:30 hour. The Van Eskies will be playing. Then we'll have our silent auction items out for people to bid on, and the live auction, I believe, will commence probably around 6:30 or 7 p.m.
Okay. Food available?
Terrific food available.
Of course. Let me guess who's catering.
Take your first shot, and you only get one. It'll be some of that terrific food from Capn's Catering, and actually we're focusing. Tom Koala was Randy's right-hand man over there, and he's focusing on what were some of Randy's favorites. So we're having a prime rib sandwich, of course, kind of synonymous with Capn's.
Yeah.
We're going to have the smoked pork loin, which was another favorite of Randy's. He always liked to bring that to our tailgate events at Miller Park. We'll have pulled pork sandwich, and we'll also have a hot dog plate.
All right. You mentioned his crew. He had a huge.
He had a couple of crews,
Yeah.
He had the restaurant crew and the catering crew.
Going back years ago, I don't know when this was. Well, when the old place was still at Jefferson Junction, I talked to him about he had a chili cook-off going. I forget who it was for tomorrow, so it could have been anybody. I mean, he was always doing this. And I was talking to him 2 weeks before the event, and I said, geez, Randy, 2 weeks? You haven't got enough time. People, to getting people to cook chili for something like this, you need, you got to get the word out months. And he said, no, I think we'll be okay. I said, well, all right, I'll put you on. And, so he wanted me to be a judge. Something I hate to do was, he can talk in and anything. All right, I'll go out there. There were 60 entries. I mean, that was the most entries I'd ever seen in a chili, and have ever seen since. It was enormous. How'd you do this? Well, just, a lot of people wanted to, yeah, right.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, word of mouth. Yeah.
I had a couple entries myself.
Yeah. It I couldn't believe it. But to me, that's indicative of how many people were willing to step forward if he asked for help, and how good he was at putting events together.
Yeah, I know that the term community organizer has been bannered about lately. Randy was really the original community organizer. He was one of the founding members of Tomorrow's Hope.
Yes.
And just a lot of other things. He was a leader in whether it was the snowmobile club or for the dairy breakfast. I still remember the day that the announcement was made that there was some doubt about the dairy breakfast going forward, and it wasn't an hour later that I was talking with Randy, and we're figuring out not just if, it's what.
There's another one.
What are we going to do?
Well, I guess the dairy breakfast is gone. And then, as soon as I heard Randy's name involved in it, well, maybe not. And not only did he save it in how long, a month's time or something like that? When between the announcement,
it was kind of a short period of time. We had a lot of help from the Fort Chamber and the people that had been organizers prior to that. So we had a good jump start, and again, it all starts with a good base of people and volunteers, and that was the thing about Randy. He knew so many people, and everybody's good at something. or has a talent or a connection or this or that. So it's just a matter of kind of putting all the people in the right places and giving them an opportunity to help out and succeed.
Yeah, that's the truth. It was as big as any we've ever had, that first one. It was like there was nothing skipped a beat. You'd never know that there was a failure in between two dairy breakfasts.
It's actually gone on to flourish quite well, and we're looking forward to this year's
it's better
event.
than ever. Yeah.
There's a great team there, and everybody has their roles, and now it's to the point where they just kind of I don't want to say it just falls together, because there's a lot of hard work, and Marlene
nothing
and
falls
Roger,
together.
And, there's meetings throughout the year, but there is a real sense of teamwork there, and that's how events like that are able to come together.
Yeah, and what's important, he didn't do everything. He didn't, oversee everything. He just put responsible people in positions to make sure it got done, and it did. He was a superb manager. I mean, he had managerial skills. I can't even understand how it worked, to tell you the truth.
Well, as somebody who's trying to do a little bit of my part to fill in for some of the things that Randy did, I can appreciate that. It's sometimes it's like herding cats, but it all comes together at the end, and that's kind of goes back to this event here. We have just a great number of people that stepped up and said, what can I do? I can cook, or I can bartend, or I can take tickets, or whatever, and that's kind of where we're at right now. We're still soliciting for volunteers. If people would like to be involved in that, they can contact.
Probably go to Randy Schopen Memorial Foundation.com. Visit the website. It's very informative. There are spots there that maybe lead to committees, or
maybe a group might want to participate.
Sure.
10 bar for you for a shift, or
exactly. So you email back and forth.
Yeah.
You can also probably contact me, Vince Krause at Rock Bottom Saloon. That's 920-675-1950. I'm helping out with organizing the beverage service and so forth. And feel free to contact me there. We can set up a shift for you, or if you need to have the availability and want to help in other ways. I know there are other committees that are looking for help as well.
It's going to be a big event.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We've got, Vince mentioned the music. We're going to have not only the Van Eskies, but since that time, the variations from the Dairy Breakfast. Gus and those guys have offered their services. So
what an addition that was to the Dairy Breakfast.
Yeah. So
who would have thought?
We're going to have a variety of music. We'll have some polka music, and we'll have a little bit of rock and roll, and that'll be going on, as Vince said, throughout the afternoon, leading up to the time of the auction, which is going to start about 7 o'clock.
Okay. Auction items, top of your head, or are you still collecting, I imagine?
We're still collecting, and we're certainly still accepting if anyone has anything that's unique, and it doesn't. We're not asking for things of great value. We're certainly not discouraging that, but
no, you got an extra Buick.
Anybody,
feel free,
sure, or a condo, and someplace for them. But certainly any kind of donations of all different sizes, because that's where we found that people have the most fun at these kind of things. Is if you have the means, whether you have the means to buy something for $10 or $100 or more. We like to have a wide variety of things. So there will be some really interesting sports memorabilia. Gary Held from Ford is helping us out with that, and we really appreciate his offer to help us organize that. So there'll be lots of Packers stuff, Badgers, Brewers, and really some pretty neat stuff. I saw a partial list, and the names Molitor and Yount and Rogers and some of those other Bart Starr kind of
recognizable
names. Clay Matthews, that kind of thing. And of course, Gary's a big supporter of lots of things here, and really helps out and has worked with Randy in the past. So he stepped up, and we'll have some of those things. We'll have everything from home baked pies to different donations of like bar memorabilia. We've got some stuff left over from Capn's yet, and that's there's they had an estate sale for Randy's personal effects last week. But there was still a lot of stuff from the old Captain's Corner there. So I think people who may have stopped there once or twice over the years would find something really interesting there in terms of old mugs or T-shirts, hats. I know one guy bought a big box of hats at the auction the other day.
I do believe you'll see some of those as well on auction out at the event at the Fair Park.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I think there'll be some interesting gift baskets, maybe wine, food items, etc. Like I said, it'll be something for everybody, not only high-ticket items, but a lot of smaller stuff that people can, have a good time with and bid on.
Well, that place out at Jefferson Junction, it kind of in the middle of nowhere at the time, but talking to people, like when Randy passed, I remember getting a steak out there. Everybody said that. I think everybody in the county has had a steak out at the old Jefferson Junction place at some point in their lives, but very popular place. And the site of a lot of his fundraisers too. That chili cook-off was out there, and he did all kinds of events.
Well, that's one of the neat things about the website too, is we have an opportunity for people that have photos, if they have those in electronic form, to submit those, because we had a lot of people that said, they got some great pictures of Randy, and of course some of them go back many years, and a couple of different hairstyles ago, but that was a neat opportunity for people to share pictures and things like that, and it was a lot of camaraderie. I mean, it was. We hope this is going to be more of the same, kind of like a reunion of sorts. And
there'll be a lot of reminiscing at this event. Yeah, I think you're right. Before we get too far astray here talking about Randy, let's talk about March 24th, 3:30. What happens?
3:30, the doors open, the silent auction
this is at
tables.
The County Fair
This
Park.
will be at the activity center at the Fair Park, so there'll be plenty of parking. Nice setup there for an event. Probably be about 1.5 feet of snow that day because the way the weather's gone this year. No, just kidding. But we'll be prepared for big crowds in any event there. And so the doors will open and the music will begin. And we're still kind of working out the who's going to play first, or how it's not an ego issue. It's a logistics issue.
Right.
When are people available?
Right.
But
okay.
That'll start right away at 3:30, and that'll go throughout the afternoon.
So as soon as you get there.
Sure.
All right, Vince, beverages available immediately?
Again, food and beverage, I believe, will be available again when the doors open and throughout the evening. Dale again mentioned the menu for the food. Of course, we'll have beverage service there for beer, wine coolers, and the sort. Soda available. I would assume probably coffee, water, milk would be available as well.
Yeah,
family-friendly event. Expect, again, to see big crowds. Again, want to mention the website, Randy Schopen Memorial Foundation.com. If there's anything we're missing today and people care to research it there, they can also look on Facebook. It's listed there. Twitter as well. Actually, Randy's nephew, Damon Schopen, has done a great job setting up the website. It's very logical and easy to navigate, so I'd urge people to go there. Again, for any donations that people may want to come forward with yet, we're, like you say, only about 3 weeks out, but I can offer up accepting those, or they can go to the website, and there's a couple of phone numbers there. But anybody that wishes to get in contact with me, again, it's 920-675-1950, and we can help you out if you don't have a computer or don't feel like going that direction. Feel free to contact me.
A lot of ways to do it.
They can also contact Capn Steakhouse if they would like more information or to make a donation.
Okay. Don't go over there on a Friday night unless you're going to eat dinner. I mean,
definitely.
Yeah. All right, we do have to take a break, if you can hang on. You're listening to Morning Magazine. We're going to pause for a quick update on the weather. Mostly cloudy today, a high of 43 degrees. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight with a chance for rain. Later in the evening, mixing with snow, maybe even a dusting possible, a low of 34 degrees. And on Friday, mostly cloudy, with a chance for rain mixing with snow and another dusting possible, and a high of 42 degrees. 33 degrees right now on WFAW.
It's the WFAW Community Calendar.
Grab your scrapbooking buddies and head to Scrapbook for a Cure on Saturday, March 10th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. to raise money for the Relay for Life at the Lake Mills Town Hall, 1111 South Main Street. The cost is $10 and includes snacks, lunch, and prizes. If you don't have time to scrap, there's also a garage sale of scrapbooking items. All proceeds go to the Lake Mills Relay for Life. Family Promise of Jefferson County will be having a number of fundraising events throughout March and April. For more information, visit their website, familypromiseofjeffersoncounty.org. The Milton United Methodist Church invites the community to its Lenten services. They will serve soup and sandwiches at 5:30 p.m., followed by worship at 6 p.m. through March 28th.
The WFAW Community Calendar is also online at 940WFAW.com. Now, no matter where you are, you can listen to 940 WFAW, streaming online at 940WFAW.com. From the WFAW Morning News to high school and Warhawk sports, Morning Magazine to the Friday Morning Funnies, it's all just a click away. Stay in touch with Jefferson County's news and talk at 940 WFAW, and now streaming online at 940WFAW.com.
And welcome back to Morning Magazine. Michael Klisch. And we're talking about the Capn's Last Call, the tribute to Randy Schopen, which is coming up Saturday at the Jefferson County Fair Park, March 24th. Doors open at 3:30. It's going to run until late at night. And this is a fundraiser for the Randy Schopen Give Someone a Chance Foundation. Dale, tell us about that.
It is, Mike. It's... we call it the last call, and that's kind of a tribute to Randy, but it's certainly a new beginning. And I don't mean to get too emotional about it, but Randy touched a lot of people, and he led by example, and that's the gist of what we wanted to do here. We wanted to continue his legacy of community service by each of us stepping up in however way we could here. So that's what this is all about. This is kind of the initial fundraiser. We're not making any promises about it being an annual or anything like that, but there's a good chance that there'll probably be another one when this is successful. And there's some other events that we have in the works, things that Randy enjoyed, and to try to perpetuate that memory. Yeah.
Let me turn my mic on. Had a bowl-a-thon.
Yeah. The other,
which filled up completely. Yeah. I dropped out there because we had talked to Damon, I think it was, the Monday before, I think it was, and we got a lot of openings yet or whatever, but come the event, everything was filled up. Two shifts of bowlers, and there was no room for anybody else. Yeah,
that was a great event up at Ruse Premier Lanes. One of the things that this is going to be associated with, the Randy Schopen Memorial Foundation has been accepted under the Jefferson Community Foundation. So this is fairly recent. As we said before, this has been kind of a quick process here, and
they're very quick for the foundation.
So and the Jefferson Community Foundation was very helpful in working with us to accommodate that, because as you know, we have a lot of people that want to donate things, but they also appreciate getting that recognition for tax purposes. So this was something that was really necessary for us to accommodate our donors, and we're happy to say that we have been accepted as a foundation under the Jefferson Community Foundation. So all contributions will be recognized as tax deductible. We have the intent here is to raise money so that we can continue giving to some of the things that Randy supported in his lifetime here, such as the Dairy Breakfast and Relay for Life and Tomorrow's Hope and other things. So we don't have specific definitions that this much is going to.
Well, it's a little soon for that.
It is, and we're still kind of working through all the details of that. But that's the gist of it here. So this is a fundraiser for that purpose. Like I said, there'll be more. We're talking about taking a Brewer game, and having an event for that. But the idea would be to raise money and create an endowment, and then be able to donate to some of these various organizations throughout the area here.
That sounds terrific. Randy would be delighted, quite frankly.
Well, we always, the first thing we see is he'd be upset because he wouldn't want his name, plastered all over a poster.
That's a good point.
Yeah, not out in front.
Always in the background. every time there's an event that he was involved in, which is just about every event, his crew would be out there cooking or, something would be going on. Hey, why don't you talk to such and such? No, Randy, for Christ's sake, stand still for a minute. And no, it was, you're right. He tried to get behind the scenes, but when you're so involved, it's impossible. You can't do that. Yeah.
And you were right about that part about him getting up at 3:30, except it was usually a.m. because he was the one that was putting the pork loins on, and he really.
Well, the only question I have there is, did he ever sleep?
Not much.
No, I think you could count on maybe 4 to 5 hours a night, and he always claimed that was good enough. So,
Well,
Randy grew up on a farm, and he always had that work ethic.
Yeah,
prided himself in it, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. And. Once again, March 24th, this is the big event as we're speaking. There'll probably be others, maybe even between now and then. I don't know. People come up with ideas.
Yeah, actually, we've had a couple of ideas thrown out there. We're in the works for a revival of the Capn's. The Schopen Open was a golf tournament that he had sporadically over the years, and it was held on a golf course. That was about the most resemblance there was to golf. But but there are some
people still bring that up.
We have some nice courses in the area that have graciously allowed us to come back. So we're talking about that right now. So just lots of different things fun events, something that people can pitch in, help out with, and have some fun and raise some money for a good cause. Because that's pretty much what he was about.
I don't know what else to add to that. That's exactly true. Again, that website?
I believe
www.randyschopenfoundation.org.
All right.
And we are also on Facebook, Twitter, and something else that I don't
YouTube?
recognize. Oh, thank you, yes.
Thanks for correcting me on the website there. I believe I misspoke earlier in the broadcast. So
Randy Schopen Foundation, just do a search, and that'll be the first hit.
Yeah, and like Vince said, Damon is Randy's nephew, and he is a computer whiz. We are so blessed to have people of varying abilities, and Damon is one of the best at this. So he's taught me a lot about social media just in the time that we've been working together on this.
Well, he's also younger than we are, which gives him an edge when it comes to this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Also want to mention that there is a cash raffle going on as well right now. Tickets are for sale, and I believe they've been selling rather quickly. Limited number, I believe 700 tickets. The contact for that would be Lou Belkey at 920-723-5598. He's in charge of ticket sales for that, so if you want to get on that as well.
How's that work? How much?
$20 a ticket.
And the
prize, I think top prize is perhaps $5,000. Don't want to misspeak here because I don't have a copy in front of me.
We got to talk to Lou about this.
The one thing I can tell you is that they're almost sold out. So, so get yours if you can find somebody who's still got some. They have been out at various.
It's embarrassing. They sold out before we could figure it out.
Yeah. I guess we maybe underestimated the demand, but there will be lots of other things, different ways that people can support the cause. The Tavern League is running a separate raffle of merchandise, and I think they're talking about a television and stuff. And I apologize for the lack of
accurate
information specificity at this point, but it is kind of a work in progress right now. But there's going to be lots of great things that you can bid on, and come on out and support a good cause.
Well, we're 3 weeks away from this event. That was in Randy Schopen time. That's years.
Right. Yeah.
I can't say that he would have been worried, but I think it's been brought up at some of the committee meetings that nobody's as good as all of us. So we're all trying to do our little part to make this event flow well and be successful. And like you say, carry on his legacy. But nobody was as good at it probably as Randy Schopen, but we're going to do our best.
Now, it's just the things he was able to do, and in the time that it took him to do it, I am still just... how quickly he could put together an event.
Yeah. One of the things I wanted to touch on, Mike, is Give Someone a Chance Foundation. And where that came from is because actually at the time of Randy's passing, one of his employees there said, Randy gave me a chance. He had run into some some trouble in his youth, and Randy gave him an opportunity to not only to kind of turn his life around, but to prove himself, and that was the feeling there, and we all thought, Randy gave me a chance too, or at varying times. So that's kind of the surname of the foundation.
The other half of that is, of course, you didn't want to disappoint Randy.
No.
Did you? You wanted to. If he asked you to do something, you wanted to do it, and you wanted to do it in a way that he'd be pleased that you did it that way when it was over.
Sure.
Yeah, he was that kind of guy.
He had a great effect on a lot of people, not only in the neighboring communities here, but I think you can mention his name almost statewide, and people are going to recognize it.
It's surprising. It really is. They're playing our music in the background. You guys can't hear it, but Dale, Vince, I'll be seeing you for sure on the 24th at the Jefferson County Fair Park. 3:30, the gates open. And at 3:30, the music starts, the food, the beverages are available.
Cash, check, or credit card, debit card.
The raffle tickets will be available. The auction items are going to be out for display right away.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
It's going to be a great day, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'll be emceeing.
We're looking forward to that, Mike.
Going to help me out with that?
Absolutely.
All right.
We make a good
Thanks
team.
for the opportunity to come down and spend some time with us talking about it this morning.
Thank both you guys. I appreciate it. We get ABC News coming up. Stay tuned.
On air, online, and on demand. 940 WFAW Fort Atkinson and 940WFAW.com.